Voice is, and when I say voice, this is obviously my instrument that I use, but think of voice as in sonic. It's kind of sonic space that you use with your instrument. Your instrument is meaningless until you bring meaning to it. Does that make sense? The whole world is meaningless until human beings and the forces of anything that's constructed brings meaning to it. This chair, in one environment, is somebody being interrogated, and in another space, this chair is the speech that brings people together with love and support. This chair is a grandfather watching all of his children, you, ancestrally. So it has no meaning until we bring meaning to it. So in terms of the voice, your voice, my voice is a vocalist. I was thinking, how do I convey that first? Well, for me, there's three kind of things that I think that I draw on to go into those sort of spaces and to feel, one, vulnerable, allow myself to be vulnerable, allow myself to play, without necessarily acknowledging it, but just allowing play to exist. And to also bend time in a way that I can use time in a way that serves for me, around music or pulse, to make something, to open up a space, to open up a gap, a doorway that I can go into. And also, as I'm doing that, I'm in collaboration with the environment around. And Nick happens to be in the environment at that time, because there's a lot more that's in that space, in that moment. The reverberance in the space is happening. As you can hear right now, the room is always responding back and saying, yo. We're here, together. And I don't think we take enough notice of it to use this reverberation or spatial dialogue that is happening. Enough. Churches were built to aurate, you know, the voices. Everybody in the congregation could hear that one person talking, because they were designed by default so that everybody can hear. And so containers and shapes have really changed in a very different way in terms of how we respond to the world around us and how we get what I would say is a feedback loop. Yeah? It's like a feedback loop to where we're at. The instrument gives us a feedback loop. So I want to share like three things that I kind of use, not kind of use, but I do use maybe consciously and subconsciously. And I've sort of broken them down. I will, if you want to know them later on, I would almost like just say don't write anything down. Just allow what needs to enter into your psyche, yeah, naturally. Because that's the thing that you're going to remember the most. Write. What did you say? What was it? And then, you know, the essence is still something that was something else. Yeah? Okay, so I use, for example, can I give a round of applause to Nick, please? He's so kind. He just kindly offered yesterday, just like, yeah, I'll come and play with you in the morning. And yeah, it's really lovely. We've had a good time playing together and building our relationship also through coming here. So it's like the first time. That was it. Yeah, and then that led to lots of different reverberations of sonics. So he's going to be supporting me here as well. So in one sense, for my voice, I use like 10 components. There's 10 particular components that I use in my voice that I'm aware of affects the way that I can then tap into things that give me feedback, give me emotional feedback, give me space, give me a kind of almost like sometimes an opposite force for me to then find new pathways. Yeah? The key is about finding those pathways to the instrument that you're playing, in terms of what it gives back to you. So the more you know about those possible pathways, the more you can explore the full dimension of it. And then, in some respects, our music is an emotional impulse. Yeah? It's an emotive impulse. It's not intellectually impulse. That has its shape, it has its form, and it has its moment. And you need that to kind of galvanize what you want to say. But emotional impulse with what's in front of you when the moment comes is the most important thing, yeah, of the script. Is that you're able to have a view of what's in front of you from a broader perspective of how you can approach it, yeah? Rather than sometimes just that view is not going to serve you when you need to sit back. You need to relax, you need to kind of just take it in, take more of it in, pull back, be more expansive with your process around it. Engage the space, not just that, yeah? So you have to be able to bend and weave. And so these gateways are just simple things that I had in my practice. Number one is loudness. Is the understanding of loudness being extreme loud and extreme quiet. So I use extreme loud and extreme quiet. I have the dimension of knowing that I can cover that. And I have a relationship also with really, really quiet and really, really loud. Because I've evoked it now to understand our parameters sometimes have been set to just sing in a certain loudness. And actually, the voice has extremities to it. The instrument has extremities. But you have to have extremities in your mind. And that instrument, you can bend it to the edges. Not just stay in the middle. You can bend it to the edges of what it can do. And you'll find you there. You'll find the part of you that's kind of going, man, I've been waiting so long for you to just come this way. Shit, god damn it, how long did it take? 50 years? Yeah? You can bend that and bring it together. So loudness, for example, space to do that. If I was to go outside, it wouldn't sound as loud, but it would still sound extreme for that space. So when if somebody was to fall, go into a road, like a child was to go into a road, and you saw that child go into the road, you'd go, hey! Your impulse would be just like, imminent danger, my voice is just responding. Yeah? Well, sometimes when we think about extremity, if I said to you, make a loud sound, a lot of you would sort of start adjusting in your chair. What note do I start with? Yeah, what key are we in? Yeah? Loud notes are in B minor, isn't it? Yeah? You start putting all these frameworks, and these constraints are irrelevant, and they are disruptive to you just being you. So you have to watch out for it. And that's a clear thing, you have to watch out for it. Being whole is actually a simpler task to try to be more whole. You have to let go of more of the constraints. So loudness is one of the key things that I use. The other one is pitch range. So being able to go across your pitch range from the lowest part, the lowest dimension you can, how you get there is not important. Being able to play across the pitch range, and also to be able to just honour what the pitch range has to offer today. I sung Stevie Wonder last night, right? My pitch range is there, but I can hear all the disruption that's in there because it's a little bit tired. Just a little bit Stevie Wonder out, all right? So that's a thing. What I'm hearing is number 3, disruption. That's an in-breath that I'm doing there as well. So it's not an out-breath, it's an in-breath. So I'm using both aspects of my voice to make that sound. I have as much of a relationship with an in-breath as I do with an out-breath. Yeah? So I can't make that sound out. It's a different sound. That's a very high pitch that I just made there. Yes! But if I don't discover it, I wouldn't know that if I have an in-breath, I can make... I would never have known that, especially today. So also, that tiredness is actually now a benefit. Also, because I accept it. I don't accept tiredness necessarily as something which is not a benefit. It can actually be really powerful when you feel really tired around your instrument. It's like, yeah man, I'm just going to take the tired approach. It's more relaxed. It's like, I don't care as much about things. My mind is less kind of light. You just use it. You use it for you. What usually happens is it re-energizes you at the same time, because you don't see it as a separate entity. You see it as something that you can actually use. Yeah? That's a really important thing. Okay, so we've done 3 already. Nasality. Bringing it more so that it resonates in that space. Okay, so I can bring something more sharper and edgy in terms of the sound quality, and then I can put melody behind it. Place things in a certain place. I can search lower. I can tap into different qualities, so I can have a warmer sound, but still tap into nasality or edges. Yeah? So edges, again, edges in terms of the sound and resonance that comes from it. Okay? Next one is free air. Everybody go. And again. And one more time. Now just sing a note. Just sing a note, everybody. Stop. So the wonderful thing that I recognized yesterday with my students that I was working with is I realized that when people do free air, so just breathing, you ask them to do free air, all of a sudden they start moving. They quite naturally kind of go, or they're, but if you then get them to do a note, they go, oh, and they just cut off the whole frequency of the body. And I thought, well, that's very interesting. So does breath tap into the body more as a visceral thing? Do we feel it more consciously? Or is it also the sound kind of takes us there as well? So can I get you to do breath again, but allow yourself, your body to move a little bit more, but not performative. Just allow yourself to experience more of the breath as if it's moving through the body. Yeah? Okay, we'll do it again. Breathe in, breathe out with a... Very good. And again, one more time. Stop. Now make the breath something.
What do you think?
Make it something.
Something.
Don't make it a task that Randolph is giving you. Make it something. Make it as if it's belonging to somewhere. It's going somewhere. It's coming from somewhere. It has to arrive. It's telling a story. Think of it that way. And let's do it again. So this is a reminder. Breath, one, meaning. Even in these moments, with just a simple breath, you give it meaning. The moment you did it with meaning is a moment that sounds different in the room. It sounds like it's soulful. I'm going to use the term soul. Soulful from the body. Your body responds in a different way, a more natural way, which is connected to you. Yeah? So again, task-driven or soul-driven are two different kind of concepts in my mind about how we may use breath. But breath is a very powerful part of the process. And we use less and more. For example, in my voice, it's half breath. Next breath, more vocal. Vocalization. So I'm using a mixture of less and more breath to make something happen. If you were to think of your breathing as you're doing your instrument, before you even do your instrument. So imagine playing where you're breathing differently. Or your vibes player, for example. It's going to affect how you use that instrument. If you're a sax player, the breath before you even put what you do into it is going to be different. If you're a guitarist, changing your breath before the notes also is going to viscerally respond very, very different to the way that you make an association with the instrument which is outside of you. It's going to feel like it is you more and more and more. Even if you know 4 notes, those notes can become the most powerful notes that you can play in that moment, with meaning and with connection. Make sense? Great. Okay, glottal. Glottal is, in terms of the voice, everybody do that? So you heard me do some stuff with like a beatbox type. That's what people would make a reference to it. I would say vocal percussion. And it's kind of just using the opening and closing of the glottal. With vowel shapes and consonants around it. Yeah, I'm having a relationship with those sounds, opening and closing in terms of vocal cords. Again, our instrument can be muted. We can create this somehow with the instrument, muting things, this kind of glottally type effectiveness that you can bring to it. Yeah? So glottal attack is more and less as well, yeah, in terms of its range. Okay? Instruction with harmonic timbre. So the harmonic timbre, as you already know with instruments, they have a kind of harmonic, a sort of harmonic shape. My 3 shapes that I use, which is flute, clarinet, saxophone. Everybody do it. And breathe it in. And make a note out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Wonderful. Language is formed around this type of shaping. Yeah? And different languages are more closely related to it. And then you can hear how language moves between these kind of dimensions. The next one is clarinet. Breathe it in. And feel where that is differently to this one. Just go between the 2. Feel where it sits differently in the space. Yeah? So, clarinet has more this type of yawning, more open, kind of shaping, but also in language it can be the warmer. Taps into a different kind of resonant frequency. Rather than so there's this kind of top reference, and then there's a kind of then you've got languages that use more of a nasal reference on top. Within that, you can see that mannerisms change. Can you see how the mannerisms change quite quickly? languages and forms change, yeah? Also, that's to do with climate. Colder climates, warmer climates, how people move, how people travel makes a big difference to also how people converse and also how then people relay stories and experiences. Yeah? So, what was I just doing there?
The saxophone player?
Saxophone is the last one. You can do this one. Open. Eyes. This one is one of the missing shapes in Western society. It's become more and more missing, I think, as a whole, as we move towards how language enforces how we communicate. This shape would have been the way that we would have communicated a lot more. Yeah? That ability to yawn openly, not and then apologise for it. It's more painful to try and keep it in. Just let it out. But we've got so many etiquettes that keep taking things away from us, as opposed to, if you watch a baby yawning, if you watch the animal yawning, and then the body goes, thank you, we're full, absolutely full, in one moment, as opposed to taking a whole freaking day to get one breath in, because I'm tired. Yeah, so we must re-embrace that, because also it sits in a different place. Do that again, and feel where that shape is. This is a real belly shape. Guts. Guts. Instinct, visceral. Experience. Animalistic. Type of experience. I dare you all to start yawning again, properly. Yeah? In all of life. Freak out your neighbours, freak out people in the street. Let them go, oh! So vulgar. Let them take that, but you feed yourself. You ain't hurting anybody. Feed yourself first.
Start a revolution.
Exactly. You've heard if you're on a flight, what do they tell you to do? If you're with a child, which mask goes on first? Exactly. So what we're talking about here is how do you feed the voice, the instrument, to work for you more. You've got to allow it to kind of exist more as a multi-dimensional force. Yeah, it has to be more multi-dimensional in terms of how you do it. Okay? And we've already done articulation. You see how words can be formed around shapes. Right, so I know I probably missed out one, but I want to move on. Any questions?
Your insurance, it covers the yawning.
Yes, my public liability insurance does cover any forms of yawning at this present moment. So these are vocal components, yes. Gestural, facial expressions, but it's not contrived. I don't go out to do it. I'm moved by it. I'm moved in terms of my expression. So I know what I look like in certain senses of videos in those moments, but I can almost sense that my gestures, even as I'm speaking to you right now, are expressing something. Would you agree? Or else, I think it would elicit a different response. So even my hand gestures can't stop that part. It's a very visceral part of me in terms of me communicating something to do with cycle, an idea, something from me, even just where it's touching to you. Yeah? It's me sharing something with you in that way. And I think that's what we can embrace in terms of even with our instrument, that we can allow ourselves to be more with the instrument. Because also I think that's what people, as a byproduct, people kind of remember, you know, why did people remember kind of like Mick Jagger, for example? It wasn't just his singing, it's just like he just looked absolutely fucked up on the stage. That was it, it was just like, you know. And look, I've worked with disability groups, and you know, he definitely reminded me of something. But that's it. It's about the uniqueness of kind of bringing more of that to the table. So that's the vocal components, or what I call them, they're like sonic gateways. Yeah, I'm telling you the reference in terms of voice, but they have a parallel relationship to your respective instrument. Yeah? That's got nothing to do with technique at the moment. This is just about how, yes?
What about trumpet in terms of
Trumpet?
about flute,
Yes.
saxophone?
Yeah. So everything that I've said is still related to, for example, if you have an instrument that looks, let's say we just take the mic as an example of the trumpet space, yeah? You can approach everything in flute. So I'm going to use the reference that I just spoke to, flute with the trumpet, yeah? So your whole body is in that kind of flute configuration, yeah? So how you might do it is everything is in flute, yeah? We know that this has to remain the same. But you'd be surprised at how subtle change to what makes somebody's trumpet sound fuller can be just that subtle difference of where it's coming from in the body also. I think if you're approaching it like this, that's one. If you approach it like this, that's another. If you approach it like this, that you can hear the reference in my voice has already changed. It still is going to come through that way, but then we're talking about how creativity feeds the restriction also. It's like, where is the body? What happens with the body? What happens with the way that the hands move with that? So you can do this, which is like, if you talk about, there's 3 dimensions of technicians who play. So you can be a technician in playing, you can be an interpreter in playing, or you can be somebody in the metaphysical world of kind of how you approach that one instrument that you've got. Does that make sense? Technician may just be looking at the dots completely and sticking to the program 100%. Interpreting is, you may have a distance between what's there, and you glitter around the form and the shape that you've got. And then the metaphysical could be what arrives through time that you bring to that table. So I think the dimensions still in the body, in your mind, the softness, also will develop a sense of how you creatively still go through that instrument. Does that make sense? Yeah? It still will change the way that you go through that instrument. Like, I've got a voice. How do I use it? I can use it in this shape because that's what, or I can start to bend the rules around what this is. I still have to come out with a note. I still have the projection of kind of my vocal cords to make a sound. They still have to vibrate at a certain place. But there's something, as a result of the inner terrain, that is not working just in one dimension. And that's what makes the difference. Yeah? Make sure? Make sure? Okay. So, the second thing that I would say is what I work with, and this is where this chair comes into this. Memory in terms of, I think, storytelling, or how you convey something through an instrument also is about what you're bringing to the table in terms of your own memory. Not memory about the instrument, but memory in terms of life experience. What do you draw on to bring to the table, even within your practice? How you approach your practice time. So memory is one thing that I know I draw on. I draw on memories. Did anybody see me perform a couple of days ago? So I was talking about, I didn't know what this was. I was just like, right, I'm going to do this song. And I kept on just thinking. And all of a sudden the memory came that I'm a grandfather. And so the song Nature Boy had total different meaning all of a sudden. Because I've sung this song before, but I thought I'd do it. But sometimes the song comes back to you again, and you're waiting for the memory to catch up with actually, this is what it's about. I've sung it before and it was about me. But now, it's about another entity talking to me. Like really talking to me. I can really feel the memory of that. And so that enforces now the way that I present it and what I'm drawing on to bring it. So in some respects, memory is one, with whatever your instrument is, and remembrance is the other. I'm remembering something. I'm remembering something about me. So I'd like you for a moment just to look at this chair. You've sat in chairs many, many times. You've sat with people many, many times. You've seen other people sit in a chair. Tell me what comes up for you as a memory of somebody or something or a place where that chair is. Who's there? What's there? And when you've got it, just put your hand up if you've got a memory that you're to share. Yeah.
In front of, sitting and in front of people.
Is this you?
Yeah.
That's your memory?
Yeah.
Sitting in front of many people.
Yeah.
Doing what?
And presenting something or telling something.
So I want your memory, not what it could be. I want your memory. So that's sometimes is what happens. We start to think of what it could be outside of, as opposed to, no, actually, this is my memory. Yeah?
This morning, a friend of mine hit his knee on the chair. I did yesterday, on the same chair.
So that's a very particular detail. We, both of us, so there's pain in that.
It hurts.
It hurts. Yeah? So the emotion is, it hurts. Now, if I was now to convey that story into... So we're going to think of the two friends, the memory of hurt. What type of hurt would you say it was?
Ow!
nothing to do with jazz. It's just response. It's just two people also responding to worlds within worlds. You know, this man, you were talking about this in the back, it's like this Swiss-born, you know, it's from Switzerland, spent time in the mountains with cows and such a stereotype. And yeah, we were talking about it because if I was to not know that and hearing Nick's music and his influence kind of bend into different dimensions of Middle Eastern music, world music. It's not like he's born there or necessarily spent lots and lots of time in it, for example. There's a memory that he taps into. And the thing is, he allows it to exist. He allows it to exist through the music that he plays. Yeah? Like there's people here who, love Brazilian music, but they haven't necessarily been to Brazil at all. Where does that come from? It's like there's a memory, there's some kind of memory, remembrance inside. I'm really connected to this music. I wasn't born in that time. Haven't been there also, but I just feel anything about it just stimulates my system to respond. Do you want to give me a little bit of your Middle Eastern memory? That's his voice, yeah? And I really appreciate that part of Nick, because you can really feel that that's what he exuberates, that's what he searches for also in terms of his music aspiration and where he goes. So I just want to relay just one last thing to finish, which won't take long. The last thing that I would say, there's lots of other things, but I just wanted to give you these three, which is these 10 gateways to looking at your instruments that you're using in a more multi-dimensional feedback loop type of way. 10 gateways. Memory and remembering. Why are you choosing this song, for example? Like beyond just, it'd be a good song to do for the gig. Yeah, well why? If you know the memory of it, it will override everything else of why you should do it. You'll just kind of go there and just go, yeah. Like you relayed that to me yesterday. It's like I've always wanted to sing this song. And that means that we're talking a long time now. We're talking, I said you're really old. Okay? But we're talking, when somebody says, I've always wanted to do this, it's not like last week. It's something that's been in their memory, going round and round, and it's like they probably tapped into it, I'd love to sing that song one day. And then it goes, and life happens, and, you do all those things, and then memory comes back again. And then all of a sudden, time bends. And it's there. And the opportunity is to be witnessed all of a sudden. Do you think I can do it? Is the question. No. And it's yeah. That's what you wanted to do for many, many years, and all of a sudden it exuberates, and now he can go on that journey to experience it. Really, really experience that, because that's maybe what he needs now. It's just that simplicity of something that is memorable to the heart. So when I'm working also, I'm interested in bending time. Yeah? So with your instrument, bending time for me is, I have these two concepts: chronos, time. It's what is it? Doesn't stop. It's consistent. Also, it's predictable. Yeah, that's predictable. So predictable. There's a predictability to it. Then there is, and that's called chronological time, or in Greek mythology, chronos. Eating of time. Yeah, that's what chronos is. Then there is kairos, time, which is more youthful, more timeless, opportunity. So an opportunity will pass in that time frame that you can make something out of. And I think for you all, it's about finding the balance between those two forces, that you're not restricted, but you're able in your storytelling, in your music. So if you're going to do a solo, imagining just allowing yourself a moment to think of that time bending. You have the ability, as opposed to it needs to be but can I take you let's just do the chorus, for example. Thank you very much, everybody. just think of these things in terms of how they just sync with you. Memory. How much memory and remembrance do I bring into my way of approaching my instrument? Yeah? Like when I'm singing a song, memory, remembrance. How much more can I do with the dynamics of gates? Different gateways that I can use based on what's in front of me. Drums, saxophone, piano. There's a lot more gateways than we are actually opening up that can actually be opened to play with, explore, and feel something from. Yeah? And the bending of time. We could just take that concept. How do you bend that time? The difference between I'm drinking a coffee like this and you're going to feel something very different happen to you. You're either going to be just like, get there, yeah, get on with it, yeah? Or your soul, the heart of you goes, and when you taste the coffee, you go, you know what? That's actually the first time I've really tasted this coffee. And it's shit. But it's on cycle. Sometimes you're just on cycle. Oh, it's coffee. You're not even referencing, hold on. One taste on it. Small taste. This is rubbish. My system doesn't want this. England coffee, it's like, forget it. Okay? Have a great day.